Danny Corr. I run a place called the Dojo in Mollusk, which is a sort of a community-based martial arts centre. My background in martial arts is I started it about 30 plus years ago. It was mostly in karate. Karate was massive 30 years ago, big sport. It's developed onto sport jiu-jitsu and that has subsequently developed into MMA. I won a number of titles in karate, including British title and Irish titles, and then went on to win 2 world titles in the sport jiu-jitsu. I won 1 in Jersey and 1 in Las Vegas. Las Vegas was the Irish was a country competition, so we went representing Ireland. There was 5 competitors from this club, and we came away with 4 world titles plus the team title and that. I founded ZKJ in 1998, so that would be bad maths, about 17 years ago. So my motivation for coaching kids, just to give them the benefits of what I've got out of martial arts throughout the years. We have a few champions in this club in different areas of martial arts, but mainly now in the mixed martial arts scene. I suppose the main one would be Rowan Prendeville, who has been training with me since he was 6 years old. He's now 25. He sort of broke the mould for this MMA scene, certainly in this club. He's fought in all the big events here as an amateur, still fights as an amateur. He recently won the UXC title in the Odyssey in front of around 6,000 people. He's basically what this club is, what Sanchin Karate is, what Karate Jutsu is. He in his whole walk of life, every areas of his life, he portrays what Karate Jutsu is. Very respectful guy, very dedicated guy, and very loyal guy too. I got involved with Fight for Peace about 2.5 years ago. I literally saw something on the web mentioning Fight for Peace and what they do with youth groups and what they do with the community. In particular, youths that are hard to reach, that are disengaged from the community. And at that time, I was running an intervention program over the summer months for some youths from the Newton Abbey area, and it just seems like a natural link.
The favela community behind me is the Complexo de Maria, where I founded Luta pela Paz, or Fight for Peace, 15 years ago. We use boxing and martial arts, together with education and personal development, to help young people growing up in communities affected by crime, violence and gangs. The GAP program, or the Alumni Training Program, is our way to replicate this model around the world.
Being involved with Fight for Peace is an amazing add-on to what we do. It's made us more focused on what we actually can do and what we've been doing for years for youths and for young people and for adults, but we never had a structure to it. It was just ad hoc and it was just as it happened. Now we've actually put in place some youth programs, and we're working in partnership with the Northern Ireland Youth Forum to give youths personal development courses, personal development training, and try and give them something that's sustainable and can last for the rest of their lives, basically.
We train community-based organisations in our methodology in what we call the 5 pillars: boxing and martial arts, education, employability, youth leadership and social support structures, so that we can replicate our methodology with local partners around the world. We're currently working in 25 different countries and over 135,000 young people are on our partner programs. We chose to work with Northern Ireland because, similar to here, this community is controlled by paramilitary groups, by armed groups that sometimes young people look toward in terms of gaining an identity or finding their way out of poverty. So there are many similarities between this community here and some of the communities in Northern Ireland.
Quite like the problems and issues that people have here, just on a bigger scale, we could see a lot of linkages of what we are doing and what we can do for the youth through Fight for Peace.
The Youth Forum is a youth-led regional body which is made up of young people from right across the region. So anyone aged between 11 and 25 can be a member, and our management committee is made up of young people who are elected every 2 years to drive the strategy and lead the organisation. The organisation is about empowerment and leadership and putting young people in the driving seat to effect positive change. Our mission is quite simply about promoting the voice of young people. So we believe that every young person has a voice and they have an active part to play in society. We talk about change and positive change. We talk about that in terms of the individual, so personal change. We talk about that in terms of amongst peers, in communities and within society. So we very much value young people as agents for positive change in every aspect of their lives. knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Both me and my brother have been training at the dojo 17 to 18 years.
I came actually for a while just with my son, just to get him involved. Danny was recommended by a friend, and I brought my son up, and he was very, very timid, very shy kid. And I can remember the first 3-4 weeks he didn't actually train. He sat in my knee and watched.
I've been training at the dojo just coming up to 2 years.
My link to the dojo is I have 3 children that attend the dojo, 2 boys and 1 daughter. Daughter's 6 and the boys are 11 and 12. Benefits in the boys, I would say, is their self-confidence. They have it here, in here, and then you can see it in their everyday life outside. Also, their fitness levels and their, how do you describe it, their healthy living and their healthy eating. Keeps them away from the Xbox, the TV.
The sport of MMA or karate or any sort of martial arts is really, really captivating once you actually get into seeing it being done properly. It's a whole different ball game.
My boys have no discriminations about anything, and they know right from wrong. Danny teaches them right from wrong, we teach them right from wrong. 2 fighters get on the mat, 2 fighters get into the cage. My boys know it takes a lot of guts to get into the cage, the ring, the mat, even if you lose.
Well, I've been competing since I was 3, so about 10 years.
I help coach out here in the dojo, and I also train and compete.
I'm on my first dan now, so that's my first adult black belt.
I'm 3rd dan in karate jutsu. I got that at the last grading.
It's hard not to remember, like going into a nursery school that had sand pits and taking your shoes off and literally just feeling every grain of sand that you in between your toes, trying to kick up and down a hall. It's hard not to forget, you know. And plus we have plenty of pictures as evidence. Getting our yellow belts and our orange belts at the age of 6 and 7 and stuff like that.
I've competed about maybe about 70 times in the karate tournaments. The first fight was probably when I was about 4, and I was very nervous, but it was good.
I've competed in karate probably over 100 times in karate style tournaments. I've also did some grappling tournaments like jiu-jitsu, and I've also did 1 wrestling tournament, and I've competed in my first MMA tournament in the Ulster Amateur MMA Championships.
I competed in the first Ulster Amateur MMA tournament against Danny Corr's son, Jack. Yeah, it was a brilliant experience. Really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for the next one.
I feel good when I get in and start fighting and moving about and just getting in the competition. I look to be doing this when I'm older. Like, I want to start competing as soon as I turn 18. I want to have a good career here, so it's given me a lot to look forward to, and that's why I'm training hard.
I have 3 sons that come, and the oldest has been coming now for nearly 6 years. One's 11, the other one's 6, and the other one is 4. It takes them away from games consoles and gets them off the streets. Don't want them running the streets, so you know they're in a controlled environment, and you know they're being coached by world champions, Irish champions, the best, and I know they enjoy coming. They'll be buzzing beforehand and they're hyper whenever they're coming. Just enjoyment for them is the main thing.
Our son goes to the dojo here in Mollusk, Scott Falls. He's now been here 3 years.
I get so much out of training in the dojo, so I do. I've been training here now for about 5 years, and before that I wasn't really doing anything. I was just school, I was starting to fail and stuff, and didn't have any ambition in life at that time, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Now that I'm training here, I train 6-7 nights a week. I've got an ambition to become a fighter, not just any fighter. Like, I want to be the best in the world, and this is what I come up here for. It gives me that every time. You get to meet new people. So many people from different walks of life have met up here, and it's all through training in the dojo. It gives you a lot of discipline and an almost calm aura about you when you're in the street, and you're just not intimidated by much, and you know you're disciplined to defend yourself, but you don't need to. You can talk your way down, and that's just literally from stuff in the dojo. You train martial arts. You don't need to fight, so you just wait until you come up here. There's so much things that can happen in the street. Like, someone could fall and hit their head and it's over. everything's over in your life. So you just got to keep the discipline and just not do it. And that's what keeps me going. The likes of going to the America and stuff like that. I'm not going to risk that over some idiot in the street trying to start on me.
On the kids side, is one of the best experiences I've ever experienced. The way I described it is HD, if that makes sense. You walk into that cage, everything outside it is a blur. But on the inside, everything just becomes brighter. Your opponent is standing there just clear as day. Can't see 2 foot behind him, but there's your target. Hit him.
It's been taking a lot off my mind. I've had a lot of pressure like in home and all. And coming here takes a lot of pressure off. Getting along with everybody. It's like family. Been a part of the dojo for 2.5 years. It's amazing. It just takes a lot of, like, everybody helps you in different ways. It's just excellent. I love it.
It's as God says, just a pure high definition response of just what your body is able to do, and after what you put through of 2 months training, all to go into one night, the win can feel phenomenal.
In my last fight, I won in the 3rd round by knockout, and I was just recently awarded knockout of the night for that performance. When I was finished the 2nd round, I was feeling quite groggy. I was very tired, and I got a real motivational speech from Danny in the corner, and in that minute he just completely pepped me up. Like I was ready to go, and the emotion I felt after winning when I knocked him out was completely worth all the hard work.
No, it definitely isn't about the winning, especially whenever it comes to like an amateur or novice level. A lot of people would take a lot of people who don't really know a lot about it would take a loss really hard. But whenever you realise how hard everyone else trains in the sport, at the end of the day, it's you against someone else. Someone has to come out on top. It's not a points game or anything like that there. It's either you win or you lose, and you just take from it what you can. You take the experience, and if you win, you win. If you don't, you learn from it.
I will come down every day it's on. I just love training. It's amazing. It's a good art. When you're getting better, you feel good about yourself and you want to keep getting better and improving. I was a part of a competition not that long back ago. It was the best experience I ever took part of. Just fighting for it, fighting in it and training for it. It's fantastic. I trained pretty hard coming up to it. So I was there first person there, last person to leave. It was fantastic. Fantastic to take a part of. Just can't wait to compete again. I can't wait to get the chance to get into the cage and compete.
Well, on the karate side, it's fantastic. I love the whole competition where you're not fighting one person. Like going in, it's a full day event, you know, and you see a line of fellas and you go, I'm probably fighting him and I'm probably fighting him, and the fear starts to kick in, but along with the fear comes adrenaline, and the adrenaline gets you going, ready to go, and so, you know, Danny has a word with you, you're in there, and that's it.
I suppose I love competing in all types of levels, right away from both me and my brother have done the World Championships, fought on numerous shows. Again, we've fought in old school karate tournaments, been fighting the full 18 years in kids tournaments right the way up, so we have, and yeah, it's a phenomenal feeling. The rush of adrenaline that you get is literally not unmatched.
I feel a lot of pressure due to the fact that, you know, I want him to do well, obviously being my big brother and all, but for me it's do what you're told. You know, Rowan needs to warm up, help him warm up. Rowan needs to do pads, I hold the pads. Rowan needs ice, I go and get ice, you know, and it's the wee things that make all the difference. If it takes the stress off him.
Came to the dojo and we've been learning like team building skills, and we've also got to go out on activities with that group, like Laser Quest and other things like that, and paintball. And then also went to the one with a group of adults, which was at the Farset Centre, and that was more serious stuff, and it helped me like learn how to talk in front of people.
I'm 16 and I study 3 A-levels at Hazelwood College. Also work a part-time job in Tesco's. I started training here around about a year ago. It gets you away from thinking about school and work, and you're just open to do whatever you feel.
He is very headstrong, and being able to come in here, learn respect, learn how to wait, you know, learn the discipline and the patience is learning him in his normal school family life, and hopefully it will progress on.
now I know it will help me coaching when I'm coaching the kids in here. It helps me in other sports, like, because you know, I'm less nervous competing. It helps me in school.
My course is 24 hours of contact time, so I'll be in there quite a bit, and I have 10 to 15 hours a week in working at Tesco, so it's quite a busy schedule. So, but I was able to make it all fit.
Teaching kids martial arts from a young age teaches them the proper discipline that they need to learn to go on in later life, to keep them out of things, not so much here, but I know in England there's a lot of gang culture and stuff like that there, so we'll keep them out of different keep them out of that whole gang culture scene and learn them a new discipline while they're at it.
Well, we were really just told about it, that it was here. We needed somewhere for him to come and let off a bit of steam, as he's quite headstrong. So we brought him down, and from the very start, he loved it.
Get out of my way! Rowan went for an interview for a job not so long ago, and during the interview, they asked him, they asked him what voluntary work he'd done, because he had put voluntary work down on his CV, and he was able to tell them that he'd done voluntary work for the Fight for Peace, as well as training young boys at the dojo, and they were very interested in it, and asked him to explain exactly what it was, which he was able to do, and they said that that was a good point to have, and that if he had been successful to getting the job, that they allow certain days, so many days a year, for voluntary work. And it so happens that the headquarters of Fight for Peace happens to be quite close to the firm that he's going to work for.
I wouldn't mind going into something in like social work.
Probably going to stay in school for A levels and that, but once I'm finished education, I could either go off in a career, but I still want to have a part in the gym and help coach. And with this Fight for Peace, it would give me the choice to become a coach and maybe get a job out of this. And apart from coaching, I would like to have fights and compete at a high level in that.
My long-term goal is to get properly into youth work, so if I can use the opportunity through the dojo and Fight for Peace as a stepping stone to get into that, and maybe potentially make a career out of that, then that would be an amazing opportunity for me.
He's down here 3 days, he has the Monday, Wednesday and Thursday. He was doing that Fight for Peace on the Wednesday, so he was.
Talking to both Danny and Chris, and they're talking about running programs to get like the youth work qualifications, like the level 2 and stuff like that. They're the necessary qualifications that you need to then progress into employment in the youth work industry. So I think with the backing of Fight for Peace, that definitely is going to help me with the give me the opportunity. To progress then into the field.
Danny's always been there for me. It's the first day I came in here. He's always helped me. I've been stressing a lot through. I go through with social workers, and he's always sat down, took his time out of his own schedule and helped me out. Always been there for me. Asks me every day, any day, am I okay? How are you? Always there for me. And he's a great role model to look up to.
We've been in a wee youth group, and well, we've done a youth group, and then we've done one with the adults or whatever, and you just sort of get to know everyone and work. You do some team exercises, work as a team, and just improve in general life. You learn life skills and about different areas and what Northern Ireland is about and the history of it as well.
Plus you get to train kids 6 days a week, and that's literally one of the best things you can do.
Fight for Peace is definitely going to give me some opportunities, as it's a whole new development and it's going to be the first of its kind, and I think it would be brilliant to have on your CV and to be able to get into work, especially the coaching aspect of it.
Well, I'd say I probably have more experience in this than you, Leslie. I've been helping Danny from I was able to, pretty much from I was a kid as well. You know, Danny's a family member, you know what I mean? So anytime Danny needed a hand, I was there. I helped take him classes after work or after school. Went straight down at 6:30, took the kids' classes with him, thing to help him out. You know, the kids' classes got bigger and bigger and bigger. He needed a hand. Going from club to club, everyone needed a hand. He used to take our own classes, and then just recently through the Fight for Peace system and stuff like that, taking youth groups. Me and Rowan take our own youth groups on a Monday, and we took one on a Friday as well, which has just finished its session. But it's a great experience, and getting to know, you know, people that you wouldn't obviously meet. You know, when they come to our club, all we have is kids with respect. Try and make it a bit more fun for them, and you know, have a bit of a laugh with them at the same time, and try and teach them what they want to learn. You know, make it worthwhile.
It's not a club, it's family. Everybody gets along with it. It's like brothers. Like everybody has banter, gets along with everybody. The coach, Danny, he's a fantastic coach. He's not even a coach, it's hard to explain. He's like a role model to a lot of people.
Yeah, with Scott participating in the Fight for Peace, he has, you know, grown to love coming down, teaching the young ones, having the respect for the older ones, listening to them, knowing that he's being respected from the young ones where it's building up. And he really achieved a lot out of coming for the Fight for Peace.
He sent me to courses to do, sports courses. He's been helping me a lot through outside the club. So he's just not helping me inside the club, it's been outside the club as well.
Danny's seen that I have sort of like a natural ability to teach people, and he asked me would I then come in and help him with the kids' classes, and took to it like a fish to water.
During the training, we got a lot of opportunity to meet with ex-gang members and people who have been heavily involved in drug use and gang warfare, because it is warfare. But we saw the impact that the Fight for Peace has on those people who become involved in the academy. They themselves become totally engrossed in this academy. They get trained themselves, and then they go on and train younger guys and younger girls and get them out of the gang situations. So it was amazing, and something we can relate back to what happens here in Northern Ireland.
So the youth support services, a lot of the time is where we are referring. We're referring young people on to other agencies who are experts in, like I say, addiction services is a big one. Counselling services is another big one. And the one-to-one mentoring is something that we're doing a lot of at the moment as well.
People say to us about role models, and everyone has that, you know, why can't it be more like him or like her? But they also say we do our fighting and training because we love to. If people look up to us, then that's nothing but a plus. You mean, I have parents come up to me going, oh, I wish such and such would be like you, and for me as well, having like asthma and eczema, I see a lot of kids come in and they're, you know, oh, his skin's really bad and his asthma's really broke out, and I go, don't worry, it'll get better, and this is the best way to do it. You know, I'd say without training and hard training, and my asthma would be ridiculously bad, and my skin's cleared up great, and I get it all. I'd say put it all through training.
For ZKJ, I can see young people who are emerging as leaders in here, and I suppose our ethos is about building the capacity within the Fight for Peace methodology, as well as within martial arts and within youth work, that we're developing young people to lead, and I guess take on a peer leadership type role as well. You know, we like to do a lot of peer leadership work because often, if a message is coming from young people to young people, it can be delivered more effectively.
It's great to give, like, almost give back to them and teach them like stuff that you've been learning over the last couple of years. When you're teaching ones from 5 years up until about 14, 15, 16, and it's great to actually see like what level the younger ones are at.
Coming out of the dojo and talking with Danny, we began developing a few ideas around combining what I do in the youth forum and what Danny does up here in the dojo. We done a few little bits of I suppose pilot type work with young people who were disengaged from communities and sort of finding life pretty tough and find themselves excluded from everything, from traditional youth services, from schools, from facilities, shops, the whole lot. So we combined youth work methodology with mixed martial arts, and it seemed to really take off. You know, we thought that there's something special here. There's something that we could really develop. And it was soon after that that Danny had made the link with Fight for Peace.
I enjoy coaching the kids. It helps me learn how to speak as well, and it helps you learn your techniques better when you're showing them to other people instead of just practicing them yourself, because you have to learn them to perfection to show other people. So that's why I enjoy coaching.
He was doing his homework, you see, one night, got frustrated and he just got it and just blasted.
But we recognise that for many of the young people that we work with, they need additional support. And that could be from anything from counselling to addiction support to legal support. We do a lot of one-to-one mentoring. So I think that's what works really well with martial arts.
It makes me feel good for giving back. I wouldn't say it makes me feel good like I wouldn't go out and boast about it, say, oh yeah, well, I'm obviously a good person because I teach kids classes. It's something that I like giving back to people. It's all like before I started here, I was also like volunteering in a youth group. Had to give that up because I've got a full-time employment. But this is sort of my way of getting back into it. I enjoy giving back, especially the youth, because I think the youth nowadays aren't really getting as much opportunities as what they should be.
Just that it was a funding that I think Danny had worked hard to get, to bring young people together from different religions, different backgrounds, and that we can all work together in this country. And you know, it's how Northern Ireland should be progressing on with all the young people if we can get them at that stage now, so we can, without any barriers.
Out of my way! Out of my way! Ow! Oh, lovely, Andrew!
Okay, so my motivation for giving up so much time to coach kids goes way back to when we started ZKJ in 1998. It was a fantastic year. We decided to start our own martial arts organisation, much against the way things went. Martial arts, nobody wanted us to do it. People wanted us to fail. Wouldn't have been a good idea, but we did it anyway, and it was working. It was working well. It was great time. Then 1998, unfortunately, my daughter Danielle died, and that motivation disappeared. And I didn't want to do martial arts. Didn't want to do karate. Certainly didn't want to be teaching other people's children and giving up time to do that. It was a bad time, but that inspiration sort of completely disappeared. I couldn't see why I should be giving up that time to help other people's kids when my own kid had just died. But those sort of dark days passed, and I realised that she was a fighter, and I wanted to produce that in other children, and I wanted to bring forth martial arts that would help kids, help my own family, as much as I knew it would have helped mine or myself. So we went forward, and truly during this programme we were working with youths. They've inspired me to sort of tell this story, because I've never answered this properly before, why I do this. These kids in these youth programmes tell all about themselves, honestly, forthrightly. Some stuff they're coming out with is hard for them to speak about, as this is for me, but I knew that this was the right thing to do. And so now, when I watch kids come in the door, I see my daughter in them, and I know that I can help them. I'm not a consultant, not a doctor. I have no education, so those doctors try to help my daughter. They have that education. The only thing I'm good at is this. I know it helps. I know kids can get inspired from it. I know they can develop their lives through martial arts, and certainly what we've done. Back in 1998, there were some kids in the club who are still there today, and that's what makes it all worthwhile now. I see those kids who are now grown men, producing great things in their lives, and helping with martial arts for other people. So our plans moving forward with this Fight for Peace and with the dojo are amazing. We're going to be looking at probably getting a bigger, better premises, where we can provide classroom facilities for people, where we can do on-the-spot training if needed, where we can have anything from youth workers within the dojo to drawing on services from like the non-Ireland Youth Forum. My main goal is to have all the young guys in here coming through this training, to have them become mentors to the younger people, so they actually have an employability side to this, that in the future they can actually work in this as a living.
Young people can come in and out every day from 8 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock at night to engage in martial arts, to train as champions, to train as individuals, and to engage in educational programs.
We're really excited to be working with the Dojo and the Northern Ireland Youth Forum and many of our other partners that are on the ground working to make young people's lives better in Northern Ireland.
20 years from now, I see about 4 or 5, maybe 10 of these dojos all about Northern Ireland providing this service to people. I'm obviously passionate about the martial arts side of it, but I also see the benefits of the personal development and how it can develop your life to make yourself a better person. I know it sounds cliched, but that's what it is. You learn all the aspects of respect, loyalty, teamwork. Helping others is huge in this dojo, and it happens daily. But outside of this, people don't know about it, and I want people to recognise Fight for Peace and the dojo as this place that does this for people.